Hello, everyone. So, I know it's been a while, and I've been away doing my thing, learning, growing, evolving, figuring stuff out, co collaborating with the Most High on my own growth and healing and evolution. And yeah, I'm popping back in because I think I'm going to start to talk about a lot of that stuff now. And um, I was touched to share today on recognizing God's plan for our lives, right? Recognizing that God has a plan for everyone's life and everyone's path, and that we have to be comfortable with that, right? We have to be able to rest in the plan that God has for our lives, right? Whatever that may entail, good, bad, or in between. And so I wanted to share an experience I had not too long ago, an encounter, maybe 4 weeks at this point, 3 or 4 weeks ago. I ran into a person, or maybe I didn't run into a person, maybe a person was put in my path. But anyway, um, I ended up having a conversation with a woman who was speaking to not being happy about her adult child's choice, her young adult child, her 20 something son um, was getting married and I believe either had a child or was having a child, and she was not pleased by that. She was unhappy that, you know, this kid was moving in this certain direction, um, and wanted different things for her child's life. And so I shared with her how God has a plan for everyone's life, and there are parts of those lives, elements of those lives that we don't know about, right? They're not a part of our understanding. And so we have to be careful in how we measure things. We have to be careful in how we perceive things. We have to be careful in how um, we judge, right? We have this idea of what life should be, right? That it's this linear progression where you check off box A and then you check off box B and then you check off box C and then you check off box D, and that's what a successful life is. And when you don't do it that way, then something's wrong with you, right? You've stepped outside of the paradigm, the program, and you're not doing it right because you haven't done it that way, which is false. Because first of all, when you're operating in a divine, there is no such thing as order. The divine does things in a way where, like, human perception doesn't even make sense out of it. Our brains and our way aren't even able to, And so there's that. And then there's just everyone's unique path. There's the thing that makes sense for you that may not make sense for me at all, that absolutely makes sense for you. And so, yeah, temper yourself. Temper yourself. But back to the story. So, she shares this with me, and I'm like, oh, okay. Um, So, I feel convicted. And so I tell her what I shared already with you. And then I give her examples. I give her the instances where what I'm saying is absolutely positively valid, right? So I spoke to her about, I have a cousin who would have been 35, 36 right now, um, who passed away in 2017. At that would have made her what, 29? I believe 29. Yeah, 28 or 29. Never saw her. I don't think she ever saw her 30th birthday. Who had a child, young, had a child in her early 20s. Very similar situation, like in school. Parent didn't want her to do it. She was too young. She had one child, one daughter, right? So she's gone now. Her mother, her father, her siblings, her sisters, they'll never ever see her again, right? But her remnant is here. That daughter that she had as a 20-year-old that she was told not to have, that she was too young to have, you know? Now, we can look at this in different ways. We can look and say, well, that child now has to spend the rest of her life without her mother, which is absolutely positively true, and which is a difficult path to navigate. But again, God's plan, not our plan. We don't know why God has now set her child up to have to be raised by another woman who's not her biological mother. But her family, I say all that to say, like, her family, her mother was left with their grandchild, their niece. They now have someone who's an extension of her, right? The essence of her is within that kid. And so she'll never truly be fully gone or fully removed from the earth plane because of that. And then I gave her another example of, I gave her the flip side of it. I gave her an example of, I have another cousin. These are both true stories. I have another cousin who, similar situation, had a child young, I would say probably mid-20s, had a child mid-20s, didn't do it the traditional way. And now, and she's an only child, right? So she's an only child, no siblings, her mother's only kid. She had a daughter as well, one daughter. Her mother is now facing terminal illness, right? Her mother is facing terminal illness. She has a cancer that she's fighting against. And honestly, it's been over a year since I've gotten updates. So I don't even know what the outcome is at this point. But the last time I heard, like, the prognosis was that she wasn't gonna make it, right? She had a limited amount of time to be on this planet. And so, and this is a younger woman, like, she's not 80, 70. She's like early 50s, late 40s, early 50s, I would say. And right, that, which is arguably young. And so, in that short time span that she was here, she's gotten a chance. Her child having a child young gave her an opportunity. And this is a woman who, like, loves children, loves, taking care of children, like surrogate mothers' kids. And so, yeah, like, got an opportunity to be a grandmother for a limited time. And so, again, like, we have to be really careful about our views and our judgments and our labels and what we think things should be and how we think things should be, and getting comfortable with the divine plans for our lives, right? Getting comfortable with not necessarily knowing or understanding, and being able to sit back and watch things unfold as they were intended to, right? Finding comfort and joy and contentment. Maybe you're not going to always be comfortable or happy, but finding a sense of like being content with, this is what's in front of me right now. And so I hope that inspires someone on today. I know so many people are contending against so many different things. And so, yeah, I was inspired to share that. Um, I hope everyone is doing well, and I'll be back soon.